Alright guys, here it is. I wasn't even going to do a tutorial on the Chat GPT because I personally think it's going to evolve so quickly that I don't think anybody can really predict what's going to happen here. So I've been chatting with it for 2 days straight, and there are some different formats you can do to enter in your chat. And then obviously you can come over to the scripting tab and then just copy those things in. So you would come to scripting and click new and then get ready. And let's jump on in over here and start chatting with ChatGPT. All right, let's jump in. So I found that there's a couple things you can say to get ChatGPT going. There are some examples, right? But this works pretty good. So you could just say create a custom tool, and whatever you say after create a custom tool, it's gonna make it. Create a custom tool for Blender, and we'll just call it 3.3 because it'll write all that in for you, and we'll put it in the BL_info format, which will actually help it write an actual add-on that you can install into Blender. Alright, so create a custom tool for Blender 3.3 BL_info and just go period and say the tool needs to add, and we'll just go shade smooth, and then we'll do something like auto smooth, and then of course we'll put in bevel, and I'll just say modifier because the more specific you get with it, the better it is. And then I'll put in weighted normal modifier, and now you want to get even more specific with it, and you could say something like write it with pointer properties, and then we'll just go with that for now, and I'll hit enter here, or rather just send the chat. And now you do have to log in and create an account, and it really wants you to put in your phone number. Now if you come in here, you'll see import BPY. That's one of the very first things you have to have so that the Python code is recognized by Blender. And here it is, the BL info. It's a custom tool, and I didn't tell it what to write as the custom tool name, so just put custom tool. Now you could put your name as the author, the version of your add-on, the version that it's going to be. See, it didn't put it in, it put 2.83 for some reason. It didn't really interpret that, so this thing's not perfect, and it's going to write out, I would say, the majority of the code. So we have the classes here, which is good. So you've already got the classes written. And I'm no Python expert. I actually was writing Arduino code for a while, so I get very familiar with it, but ultimately you have an if. Okay, so yeah, and it stopped. It's not done yet. It's let's see, did it register? Yeah, it's got to register, undo, register. Okay, so it's not too bad. So you could technically take this, copy this code, and I would go into Blender with said code and Control V after you've pasted it, and let's just go over here and click save as, and it should be able to save as a Py format. So I'm just going to actually dump this in my mech folder for some reason, and I'll just create a py folder, save as, and we'll just call this text.py and hit enter and save it. Now what I want to do is come back over into the layout, go to edit, go to preferences, and go to add-ons, and then click install, and I'll go find that under mechs and Py, and there it is, text.py. Let's go ahead, and now you've got custom tool, whatever it is, right? And it says the author, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and then you could check it on, but it's missing some parameters, so it's really not going to work, but it will definitely get you started. I think it's a great tool to help you understand what's going on, and for some reason it's generating plenty of errors, so let me maybe just refresh that and see. Alright, so now I'm going to just tell it to write a custom tool. Let's see, in Python. Now it might not work if you just say in Python. Yeah, see, it just keeps giving you... No, it's going to write it out this time. Fantastic. So it's tricky. You have to... It'll remember the previous conversation, but if it has a hiccup or an error, it's not going to work very well. So it's got import BPY. So this can be pretty endless. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this code once it's done. And I think it's like everyone else is doing tutorials on this. They just put fancy music to it and whip through it. And fine, I'm not doing this for 96,000 views. It would be nice, but I'm doing this so you guys can get a better idea of how to use it. All right, so here we go. Just going to copy the code, jump back over to Blender, go into scripting, text, new, Control V, and then I can hit run the script, and boom, there it is. It dropped a cube in, and it came in edit mode. That's just how it wrote the code. So whatever, it doesn't have a translation or anything, so like you can't move it around. So you'd have to, as long as it has import BPY, literally it'll just do whatever you want. And so there's a cube, and you could have an array of cubes. I mean, there's a ton of different things. It's pretty endless. So here we go. So now I just want to have it create an array for me, and while it's doing that, I just want to just go through this. So artificial intelligence, AI, and 3D artists are both very powerful tools in the field of computers and graphics, animation. They have different strengths, different limitations. AI has the ability to automate repetitive tasks and can be used to generate 3D models, animations, visuals, effects. And on the other hand, 3D artists possess a high level of creativity and skill, which allows them to produce high quality visual stunning content. So we have options. You know, we can do a lot more than a computer, and this thing is far from being something. I'll just copy this code. It's far from being something right now. Next week it could be a major change, right? Because it's exponential, just grows and grows and grows. But one of the main pros of AI is it has the ability to automate repetitive tasks, things we don't want to do, such as object tracking, motion capture, animation, retargeting. And this allows for, you know, a more efficient, faster workflow, which is going to save you a ton of time, going to save money for different companies, individuals. Additionally, AI can be used to generate 3D models as well, and animations that are impossible to create by hand, such as photorealistic characters, which you've seen a lot of recently, and realistic fluid simulations, things that are just, they would just be so tedious to actually do. It wouldn't be any fun. Let's just do another one here, Control V, and let's hit play. And I arrayed some monkeys. I mean, that's really cool. It's super accurate, and every script I've tried worked once I understood, say, create a custom tool, and then it worked. So just kind of go over a couple things real quick. And I offset this by 2. I typed that in. That's what I wanted. And so it offset by 2. And we can go in and look and see 1.7 meters. That's fine. Whatever. And so that's good enough. And so, you know, in the future, excuse me, as AI technology is going to continue to grow and advance, it's likely that the role of the 3D artist will evolve instead of disappear. It's going to include more AI-driven processes, and it's going to be more likely that the need for 3D skilled artists will continue to be in high demand, because the artwork and stuff like that, the things that are hyper-specific, AI is never, and I say never, almost never, going to get that. And when it does get there, you're still going to need people to monitor that and see if it's the quality that the company wants, if it's meeting the standard the company wants. AI is not going to just be able to read your mind, at least not yet. So the complexity of the future changes in industry will depend on technology developments and industry adaptation to the use of AI. And if you want to just sum it all up in conclusion, AI and 3D artists are both very powerful tools in the field of computer graphics and animation. They both have their own strengths and limitations. While AI can automatically, you know, generate things and do repetitive tasks, it just made all this for us. And I can go in here and say, write this tool again to include an array of cubes. And here we go. We're going to do another one. So as technology continues to advance, the role of 3D artists will likely evolve to include those AI-driven processes. And so you're going to need to be very skilled as a 3D artist, and you'll be in high demand, but you're going to have to pick something and go with it, be very good at it, because someone who's good at everything is good at nothing. You got to really, really be good, and nobody knows absolutely everything. If they do, I'm staying away from that person. Like me, I'm trying to get environments, hard surfaces, and texturing down, because those all kind of go in for what I'm doing with the battle mechs. And now I actually do want to run this code real quick, and then I'm going to jump out, and I'll just click New, Control V, and hit play. And now I arrayed cubes, and I didn't really tell it what to do specifically, so it just arrayed cubes. Okay, and so it's pretty cool. It's very accurate. It works very nice. I know I just said accurate. And then things like, and I'm not going to save this, and things like this, like the artistic end of it. So if I come in here, I created this. I made this as a hard surface model, not the AI, and to have the specificity of putting things where I want it. Well, yeah, AI can do a major workload and control certain things, but ultimately I do not believe the need for 3D artists in a general sense are going to disappear ever, because very specific things are going to be desired, wanted, and needed. And on top of that, you have quite a few people who would just rather have a human pipeline and then use AI to automate such tasks. So don't freak out, people. You're not going to disappear. But like I said, just get really, really good at what you're doing, and don't try to learn everything, man. Just get very hyper-focused. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all in the next tutorial lesson.